All right, everyone. Welcome to Live with Lisa. My special guest today is Kathy Weaver. We're both members of a wonderful networking organization called the Happy Neighborhood Project. And if it wasn't for Kathy, there wouldn't be a Live with Lisa because she taught me how to do all this fun stuff.
Oh, and you are doing a great job, my friend.
Well, thank you for that. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. All right, Kathy, tell us about us, what you do, what you want to share, what fun things you've got coming up. Take it away.
Fantastic. I love being part of the Happy Neighborhood Project for sure. And as soon as we saw your application for co-host come through, it was very, very fun to be able to interview a new co-host for our LGBTQ supportive business people network. And so all of a sudden, the more I got to know you, I thought this is absolutely seriously so much fun. And I love the fact that you and I have gotten to speak several times on different topics. And it really rocks my world when we get to network and actually build relationships. People have told me over the years, you know, honey, all that networking stuff that you do, you really can't build relationships on a screen. Well, I am here to tell you that I have found it incredibly possible. And I love being able to build relationships on a screen. Someday we'll probably meet in person, and I would love that as well. But for now, Happy Neighborhood Project, you in Florida, me in Kansas City, that's going to have to do for now. What do you think?
And it's doing really well for now.
That's right. I love that part. I definitely love that part.
So what is it that you do, Kathy? How do you help folks?
Well, I love helping people, and that has been my full-time business now for 16 years. I work with Enagic, the Kangen Water Company, and my DBA, doing business as, is Miracles with Water. And so being able to share water technology that's been around for almost 50 years, March of 2024 will be our 50th celebration as an industry leader in water technology. I cannot wait to put 50s all over my background. I'm excited about that.
I'm sure you are.
Oh my gosh, I really mean it. And 16 years full time with this company has been a blessing times a million, because look at the people I've gotten to meet. Not only clients and prospects, but super duper friends, amazing networking partners, and superstars within our very own Happy Neighborhood organization.
That's like today's positive.
Yeah.
Our
Happiness and Positivity Workshop.
Happiness and Positivity.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us, and that is a blast as well. For all of everyone listening now, Happy Neighborhood Project hosted the Happiness and Positivity Workshop, and we got to have coaches from outside the regular HNP community, and that was just impactful, and our guests were blessed, and the fact that it's recorded and on Facebook Live will give folks a chance to watch that even when we're not there.
Didn't we have like 30 people on the Zoom itself? That was awesome. That was really awesome. I wasn't sure what to expect today, but I was like, I'm not going to miss it. So I was there.
The fact that you jumped in, I'm very proud of you for that too, because we network all the time, of course, but being able to have a theme, if you will, and our two coaches that were on our panel today did fantastic, Aaron and Tracy, and they've already sent me texts just from them. So I just absolutely love networking.
It's great. It's the easiest thing since sliced bread, I swear. I mean, when this virtual networking started, it wasn't so great, but now that we're almost 4 years forward, it's amazing. And if I had pivoted back in 2020, I might be further ahead, but then again, I might not be because of all the things that were going on. But hey, I'm here.
That's the best news of all. Yes, you are here. I love the fact that you always sport purple. That rocks my world, because purple is kind of our identifying company for a color for our company. And I love that. And it's your favorite color. It's my favorite business color. And Denise Vargas, one of our captains in the Happy Neighborhood, actually created my background for me. And I'm super grateful. Lisa, literally, I opened up my email, just opened it up, and here is a little present for you. So I clicked on it, and it was from Denise. So of course I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? I clicked on it, and now I have a new Zoom background. She is so great at Canva, and that's not my strength yet. I do just enough to be dangerous. But literally, I was like, holy moly, she is so good at this.
That turned out really good. And oh, mine behind me was
Yep.
done by none other than Miss Kathy Weaver.
Well, I appreciate that. You gave me lots to work with. The fact that you love purple and you love tuxedos, I thought we can get Live with Lisa up and running in no time. So
Probably next month I will start doing Live with Lisa in a tux shirt.
Woo! Now that's going to be fun.
I'm going to get a variety of colors. I may end up going to Goodwill and getting them, but who cares?
Hey, I love that already.
I'm only gonna use them for this. So, I mean, I've got the one that goes with my tux, but it's boring.
That is a great idea. I love that.
Boring. Okay. All right, we've talked about HMP.
Uh-huh.
We briefly touched on the water.
Uh-huh.
And Kathy is also here because she's a great supporter of the International Pride Business Guide. And if there are people here that don't know about the guide, you should. It's so simple. Let me change my background real quick.
There you go. Even more purple.
Even more purple. You can check it out at ipbg.us. If your business or someone you know has a business that is owned by LGBTQ plus people, make sure that you get your business in the guide, because we do some special things for all of our businesses, especially our platinum businesses. We'll send out one email to 3,000 people 4 times a year. That's the minimum right now. But when our diamond and ruby sponsors come on board, they're going to be, the diamond people will get emailed out once a month. Our ruby people will get mailed out every other month. So it's going to be a big change in the 4th quarter for the International Pride Business Guide.
That is very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What else can you tell us about your water? Why is it different? How does it help folks?
Well, as I said, we have been a leader in water technology for 49 plus years now. And that means we basically restructure tap water so your body can utilize it most effectively. So that's the best news. The thing I love about these machines is there are 7 different pH levels of water. Push a different button, get a different pH level. And each of those pH levels has a myriad of uses. So anything from hand sanitizer to laundry and carpet cleaning, to spritz for your hair, to fantastic skin toner, all kinds of things just by pushing a different button on the machine. So I have a water workshop. I do that once a month on the first Thursday. It's actually tonight. On the first Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. And lots of folks hop on there because they want to know what's different about the water. Folks that already have their machine actually love to come because they love to share what the water has done for them. And I love being part of the Enagic family, certainly the HNP family. I did want to share also, Lisa, about my books that I have written, because those were prompted by my water business. As soon as I was networking, I didn't know what the term meant. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to as many events as possible because I want to share this water with everyone I meet, because it's done so much for me and for my family. So all of a sudden, my first book was born in 2012, Networking on Steroids. And thanks again to Denise for making my background. It's the orange one on this shelf, the one in the middle. And that was born in 2012. So while I'm out networking my business, going to meetups and chambers and ladies groups and just organizations all across Kansas City area, I met Delinda Lane. And Delinda Lane is a confidence coach. And so we had a group coaching session. And so she said, tell me about you. And I said, no, I tell you about my business, but I don't talk about personal stuff. And she goes, no, that's what we're here for, is to talk about personal journeys. And so I had the other folks in the group speak first because I don't do that. And she said, now it's your turn. And I was like, ugh. So I told her a bit about my journey as far as death and dying and survivorship with several members of my close-in family. And so she said, you need to write a book about that. And I looked right at her and I said, who would read it? And she flipped it. Yeah. She flipped it right back to me and said, that's not your problem. So my second book was born. He Hit the Clouds Running and Never Looked Back. And Delinda actually got one of the first copies in her hand 3 or 4 months later after she said, you need to write a book about that. And she couldn't believe how fast I had done it, but all of that had been in my heart since 1995. And the cover came directly from Jesus, literally. That is in the book, so I won't tell you now. And so literally the cover came in there. The crescendo came in just a few months before Delinda and our coaching session. And the next thing you know, He Hit the Clouds Running and Never Looked Back was born. So now I'm able to bless people on grief journeys and to let them know that there is always a silver lining. Yeah.
It's a great book.
Thank you.
If you or someone you know is going through or has recently gone through the grief journey and you're still somewhere in it, great book. Great book.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. To continue on with my purple theme, all of a sudden, as you mentioned about the shutdown, the COVID, the pandemic, all of a sudden, all of my networking came to a screeching halt. We had groups all over the place. Kansas City was a hub for networking, meeting people, introducing people, referring people. It was just magnificent. And then all of a sudden, March of 2020, and boom, that ceased. So I thought, well, hunt and pivot. Let's see what this is going to do. And in July of 2020, my third book was born, Networking on Steroids PQ, which is a guide to networking in a world post-quarantine. All 3 of these books are recorded on my YouTube channel. So for everyone here listening on Lisa's podcast, they are free on my YouTube channel, Kathy Weaver KC. And this one, again, is the post-quarantine version, how to navigate these Brady Bunch squares effectively so we can build amazing relationships even through a screen. And I'm so glad we've met, Lisa, honestly, and the screen is my new best friend.
Well, it has to be our new best friend. Even though it quote unquote we're done with the pandemic, I don't trust it. Just saying. So
I was talking to a person just a second ago on a different call, and she even said, you know, I went to an in-person event yesterday. Took me 30 minutes to drive there, 30 minutes for introductions and reception and things like that, hour and a half for the luncheon and the presentation, 30 minutes after that for thank you so much for coming and we're hoping to see you again and door prizes, etc. And 30 minutes to drive back. She said, I don't have that kind of time anymore. I can do 3 or 4 meetings on a Zoom call with several people on there. And I do not have this kind of time because she was driving across her town. And so I thought, isn't that interesting that we have now realized the efficacy of Zoom virtual networking? And I personally absolutely love it. And I mean that with all my heart, because now I'm not confined to the Kansas City area. I can literally travel globally by pushing a button.
yeah, see you in Dubai.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Australia.
Absolutely.
Either one. Because when I had my in-person networking event or group that I ran before I came to Florida, I mean, yeah, it was an hour and a half meeting, but you have to include your time to get there, to get back, and that ends up being 2 hours.
You bet.
2.5 hours, actually. So
it really does. And this is so much more time efficient. Plus, we have a larger network. All of a sudden, somebody wants to meet you that doesn't live in Florida or Kansas City. That doesn't matter. I can connect you with friends across the globe by literally saying, hey, Lisa, I'd like you to meet. Hey, someone, I'd like you to meet Lisa. And it's a great way that I have found to be connecting on a global scale. And we can do it each and every day by pushing a button.
Pushing a button, which none of us thought about back then. So it would, if it wasn't for the pandemic, Zoom would not really exist. So, or those like it, Zoom, Meeting, even Google has a little thing.
Google Meet, yeah, and Microsoft Teams. And I use StreamYard a lot also. So there's lots of platforms, which is great. But Zoom seems to be the most user-friendly so far.
So far, because we can do backgrounds.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know you love backgrounds.
I love my backgrounds
I know.
because all the stuff around me, I would have to clean up every 20 minutes or so because of the number of calls. And now that I'm actually back in business and being able to be back on calls, because I was off of calls for about 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But now that I can do it, even though I know I'm not looking in the right place, I caught myself. I'm just grateful that I can be back on and back in the mix, because I missed it. I really did miss it.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
Anything else you would like to add? We got like a couple of minutes left, and that's it.
Well, that's okay. And I know there's a lot to cover, and I get that. My QR code is actually right here in this fantastic water drop, once again created by Denise. And this particular digital business card is hosted, created by formycard.net. And Carolyn Willams, another superstar in the Happy Neighborhood Project, owns that company. And she's a partner with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And I love being able to have my digital business card.
I just figured out how to pin a square.
There you go. See, look at you. Click on those 3 dots. And as soon as you pin the square and read the QR code, then you can remove pin as it says. And then you all of a sudden are back in gallery view. You're learning.
Remove pin. Okay, I'm learning more every day.
That's right. And you're doing great.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop our recording real quick.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.